North Idaho College proudly presents NIC Today, an informational news magazine that highlights the people, programs, and campus life at North Idaho College and the surrounding community. And now, your host and moderator, President of North Idaho College, Dr. Joe Dunlap.
Hello and welcome to NIC Today. I am your host for today, Vice President of Community Relations and Marketing, Mark Browning. Thanks for joining us today. As you just heard, NIC Today is the program that brings you all the events and the happenings and the comings and goings on campus here at North Idaho College, soon to be in our 80th year, and we thank you for being with us today. It is my pleasure not only to welcome you to our audience, but to welcome our new host, our new president here at North Idaho College, Dr. Joe Dunlap, who has joined us as of the 1st of July. President, welcome, and welcome to your own television program.
Well, thank you, Mark. It's absolutely thrilling to be here. You know, of the 1,250 community colleges in this country, I can't think of a better place to be. This is a beautiful town, wonderful campus, and a community that supports education.
Well, we are thrilled, not only as a college, but as a community to have you here. And for the folks that are just joining us now, let's get a little background on who Joe Dunlap is and where you've been and how you ended up here in one of the most beautiful spots on the face of the earth.
Well, I actually grew up in Washington State out on the Olympic Peninsula, and then I came to Spokane and graduated from Whitworth College. Upon graduating from Whitworth College, I joined the military and went off for quite a few years to fly for helicopters. And when I got out of the military, I became the director for the School of Aviation Sciences at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I spent 10 years in that role. But there came a time where I had to get back out to the West Coast, where we had the trees and the mountains and the water. And so I took a job at Mount Hood Community College as Dean of Science and Industrial Technology. And that was my first foray into the community college world. And I absolutely loved the mission and the ability to help students change their lives and improve the quality of life within a community. And so from there, I then made my way to Clover Park Technical College in Tacoma, Washington, where I was Vice President of Instruction. And then from there came to Spokane Community College. And while at Spokane Community College, I was the Vice President of Instruction for 3 years and the President for 5 years. And then the opportunity to come to North Idaho came along, and I could absolutely not pass that up. This is the most spectacular place that I've ever been, and the community here has made myself and my wife feel more welcome than any place we've ever been. In fact, when I was applying for the job, people kept asking me, are you going to move to Coeur d'Alene? Are you going to move to Coeur d'Alene? And so I came to the conclusion that the people in Idaho are very lonely people. And we actually moved over here recently. We sold our house in Spokane.
Great.
And are just getting moved into the new house, and it's absolutely wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we are thrilled to have you. You've been quite busy, not only with getting settled here as president and getting your house set up in order, but our house here at the college, we had a few empty spots on the cabinet, if you will, the cupboard, if you wanted to say, and you've been busy right from day one getting those positions filled.
Well, we have, and the goal was to make sure that we had a full team in place before school started. And so over the course of the summer, we've gone through a number of hiring processes and interviewed quite a few different candidates. And the folks that we hired, I'd like to introduce some of those to you today. Two of the new vice presidents are Graydon Stanley, who is coming to us from the College of Southern Idaho. And then we have Dr. Lita Burns, who is the vice president of instruction and was the dean for health sciences and nursing here at North Idaho College. And so we're thrilled to have both of them here. And Mark, you yourself are relatively new. You've been here about 8 or 9 months, I would guess.
Yeah.
And Ron, our vice president for resource development, has only been here about 2 years himself. So I'd like to go around and have everybody introduce themselves and tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'll start. As I mentioned, my name is Mark Browning. I came from the State Board of Education down in the Boise area, worked there for about 5 years. I consider now Coeur d'Alene the closest thing to home that I've been in 30 plus years. It feels like home to me. I grew up as a farm kid over south of Missoula in the Bitterroot, and lived amongst the trees and the lakes and the streams over in western Montana. So this feels very much like home, and I understand when you say it pulls you back, it really does. So my wife Kim and I, we have 3 boys. Our oldest is a second-year law student at the U of I. Our middle son is a freshman at Linfield College on a debate scholarship over in Oregon, and then our youngest Sam is a 6th grader at Woodland Middle School. So we love it here in Coeur d'Alene, and I've been here since January 2nd. So I know that not every day is 75 and sunny, but we love it nonetheless.
Well, you know, you just reminded me, Mark, I forgot to mention our kids. We have 3 children. One is majoring in biology at Eastern Washington University over in Cheney. We have a son who's the Asian marketing manager for Amazon.com, and he lives in Singapore. And we have a son that lives north of Seattle and is an engineer for a medical manufacturing company. And we just found out that we have 3 grandchildren on the way. Oh. So we're going to have instant grandchildren come later this year.
You'll really be busy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Graydon, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
I'd love to. Thanks, Joe. I'm the person who's been trying to get to North Idaho for a long time. I've been working in the state of Idaho. I really grew up in this area. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and family moved to South Idaho when I was 3 years old, a long time ago. And went to school in Twin Falls, then went to college at the College of Idaho up in Caldwell after finishing my undergraduate degree there. And that's, by the way, where I had met Ron Dorn when I was there. When I graduated from there, I started work at the College of Idaho. My first job was in admissions, doing recruitment, enrollment management. At the time, I moved into development work for a year, long enough to discover I never want to do development work again. And then I got married during the time. That's where I met my wife. She came to school at the College of Idaho, and she and I decided to become rich and famous school teachers. And so we took off and went to Oregon and taught school there. I taught high school math and high school history for a couple of years, and then had an opportunity, was invited to come work at the College of Southern Idaho back in Twin Falls by Jerry Meyerhofer, the president there. And went back there and was there for nearly 28 years, and through a variety of jobs. Started out as a recruiter again, and then acquired the responsibility one year and another responsibility, and eventually grew into my most recent title, that was Dean of Students, and loved my work there. Absolutely sold on community college mission, knew that I wanted to work in a community college setting the rest of my life, but also knew I wanted to be someplace where there were trees and water and all the recreational opportunities. I kept making excuses over all the years to come up and visit friends in Coeur d'Alene, and I wanted to make that a little more permanent. And so when I had the opportunity to apply for this position, I wanted to do it. When I came here, Joe, and had a chance to meet you, and I had known Mark previously, and I'd met Lita previously, and had other friends on this campus and in this community, knew that it's exactly where I wanted to be. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, thrilled to be here every day. My wife's not moved up here yet, but coming soon. And every day I just call and say it gets better every day. When I drive to work and I look at mountains and I look at trees, and I just can't believe this is where I'm living. I had a chance to go out on a sailboat for the first time ever yesterday, and tried to tell my wife I was still at work, that was a part of work, but she didn't buy it at all. So
not buying that one.
I've got 2 boys as well. My oldest boy, Graham, is 26, graduated from Arizona State University, lives in Scottsdale, is working in sales for a resort down there. My second child, Jordan, is 23 years old, and he graduated from NYU just a year ago, and in musical theater. He's in the right place to try to work in that industry. In fact, found out just today that he got cast in a show. That's the life of a performer in between auditions, but he's going to be employed for at least the next couple months. So just thrilled to be here, and anxious to get my family up here as well.
Well, Graydon, we're very happy to have you here, and welcome to the team. We're glad to have you as a member of this group.
Thank you.
Lita, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'd be happy to. I'm a Wyoming native, actually. Born and raised in Wyoming. Went to the University of Wyoming, graduated from nursing school from the University of Wyoming, and then I decided that I wanted to be a pediatric nurse, and so had to make a choice between Denver Children's Hospital and Primary Children's Hospital in Utah, and I chose Denver. So spent my next 10 years in Denver, and met my husband there, and we had our first child, and decided that maybe we wanted to raise him in a smaller place. And so returned to Wyoming, to my hometown of Riverton, Wyoming, and went to work as a nursing educator at Central Wyoming College in Riverton, and spent 10 years there. And after about 7 years in the classroom, took on the Director of Nursing and Allied Health Division Chair position at Central Wyoming College. One day got a flyer in the mail about North Idaho College, and I looked at it and I thought, wow, that sounds like a wonderful opportunity. And I took it home and showed it to my husband, and he says, you need to apply for that. So I did, and was fortunate enough to receive the position of Director of Health Professions and Nursing at North Idaho College. So came to the college in 2001 and have been at North Idaho College ever since then. While I've been at North Idaho College, my role as a director grew, and eventually that position was moved to a dean's position, so became the Dean of Health Professions and Nursing. And then when the Vice President for Instruction opened up, I thought that would be a marvelous opportunity, and looked forward to joining a team here and serving the college from a different capacity, and I'm very excited about that opportunity. A little bit about my own personal family. Married to my husband Ralph, and we have 2 children, Matthew, who's 21 years old, and Marie is 18 years old. So that's me.
Well, Lita, thanks very much for sharing that, and we are just thrilled to have you as a member of this team, and you bring with you some institutional knowledge from the dean position now to the Vice President of Instruction position. So we're glad to have you on this team. And one thing I want our viewers to know is that in the hiring pools for both Lita's and Graydon's job, there were between 50 and 60 applicants for each one of those jobs, and we were able to hire the best of the best out of there. So welcome to this team.
Thank you.
Well, Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first let me say this has been a really smooth transition to this new administration. I'm just grateful to be working with this group of folks at this time in my career. This happens to be my 9th stop on a 37-year career in higher education. Finally back in Idaho. I came out here from Connecticut, courtesy of the Air Force, and spent about 25 years in southern Idaho. First as a student and graduate of Boise State, and then working there and at the College of Southern Idaho, and then at different stops around the country. And my last stop was in the friendly, warm confines of Minot, North Dakota, and this was an opportunity we couldn't pass up to get back to a little bit warmer climate. And it has been great. I live up in Sandpoint, and I make that wonderful commute each day. I get to interact with both the motorists and the game animals that I see along the highway, but it's a lot of fun. I have my wife and I have 5 children. Spread out from San Francisco to Ohio. I think the oldest boy is an investment banker. The girl in Iowa is a business owner. Our oldest girl works for Goodwill Working Solutions. Our youngest daughter is a bookstore manager at the University of Great Falls, and our youngest son is a nuclear engineer in Ohio. So we're blessed with the 5 kids and now 6 grandkids, and blessed with a good job. So I'm thankful to be here and an opportunity to spend some time with these folks and share my experiences.
Well, Ron, we're very glad to have you as a member of this team as well, and we appreciate the historical knowledge you bring to the table for us with some perspective about the history of the college as well.
You also, we have 2 new members of the cabinet, or 1 new member of the cabinet, and another new face on campus taking over for Dr. Burns' position.
Well, we do. We had a couple other administrative positions that were critical to have filled prior to school starting. And so we were able to hire Laura Hill as our Executive Director of Human Resources, and she's coming to us from the Rockwood Clinic in Spokane, which is a large medical facility with a number of different offices throughout the Spokane area. And she is a very welcome addition to this team, has extreme amount of experience with HR, human resource issues, and will be a tremendous addition. In addition to Laura, we needed to hire a replacement for Lita, as Dean of Health Sciences and Nursing. And so we were very fortunate to be able to hire Christy Doyle, who was the Dean for Health and Environmental Sciences at Spokane Community College. And so she just started a couple weeks ago and will do an absolutely fabulous job here with our health science and nursing programs. And so we're very happy to have both of them as the members of the team as well. We have in place an absolutely superb team to move forward and accomplish the goals of the college. And I think we're all very excited about that prospect. There's a high level of energy and electricity across campus, and we're about to do some really great things here at the college.
Well, you have been busy. I don't think anybody can accuse you of letting grass grow under your feet. You were busy even before day one, and you've not slowed down. So
yeah, it has been very busy, and I've made a point of trying to meet with external constituents to get a sense of the landscape, get to know who our partners are, and then also try and meet with folks internal to the campus. So it goes from 7:30 in the morning till 5 in the evening, meeting after meeting, and maybe catching a candy bar for lunch at times. But it's been a great journey, and it's going to get even better.
I think one of the things that keeps all of us going is the interaction that we have not only with each other, but certainly with the students. And now with fall and the students are back on campus, things are really buzzing around here. And we wanted to introduce a new feature to you here on NIC Today, the Students' Corner. And our first original offering will be from the students from the graphics production and video production class from Professor Philippe Val. This is their Addy Awards vignette that they put together. They were national champions this last year and presented this to the Board of Trustees in the meeting just a week ago. So take a look at our first Students' Corner presentation.
Graphic design student here at the North Idaho College for the last couple of years, and I've moved on to taking complex real-life jobs with paying clients because of the skills that I've learned at North Idaho College.
My favorite of the many projects we've undertaken here in the graphic design program has to be the perfume packaging and bottle. I started with a sketch. I rendered a three-dimensional model in Adobe Illustrator. The designer I worked with, Jessica Erickson, took my sketches and my three-dimensional rendering in Illustrator and turned it into a SolidWorks file. And the end result is I now have physical proof of what once was just an idea and a sketch.
Not only is there a really good graphic design program here, there's also a really good video program as well. And I think that's really important because graphic design and video are so intertwined.
Some people don't necessarily think about it, but stuff that's done on TV is done by graphic designers as well.
We understand that the students are learning, but that's part of the beauty of this. It gives them an opportunity to learn on air.
The best way to learn something is by experience, by practicing it. You can learn a lot of theory, but if you don't practice, it's basically done nothing.
We've also just got done doing a video for the Idaho Meth Project, and that went directly to their website. We showed it to the governor's wife. We don't really do these cheesy little YouTube videos that were, made on Windows Movie Maker or anything like that. We do real stuff.
There's also the Red Shoe event they do here. It's a funding for the Robidoux Scholarship. As students, you get to participate, donating art, helping gather the money for the scholarship.
You know that you're involved in a good program when you're excited to go to school every day.
One.
love about that presentation is it's all by students, all NIC students. Many of them are now working, in addition to working on finishing their programs, but they're working in the field already. And so this is one of those areas, a lot of times we talk about professional technical education, immediately we get images of welders and diesel and auto tech and nursing and those types of things, but this is also technical education that really comes back to set these students up for really dynamic careers in a field that I think is really growing.
Yeah. You know, another innovative program that we're going to begin here at North Idaho College is an entrepreneurship program, and through the efforts of the Avista Corporation, the entrepreneurship program at Spokane Community College is going to be expanded to 4 other colleges in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. And North Idaho College is one of those colleges that has been selected to expand that program. And so the faculty at Spokane Community College are packaging that curricula. And then next year, beginning next fall, we will be able to offer an entrepreneurship program here at North Idaho College. Avista has put $1 million on the table for that program that will provide $500,000 for microloan funds for promising entrepreneurs, as well as funding the implementation of that curriculum at those other colleges. So that's another innovative program that we're very happy to begin here at North Idaho College.
The partnerships between business and education, I think, are becoming more and more prominent. Is this a trend that you've seen in your experience at Mount Hood and on the west side, and then again in Spokane? Is that what you're seeing in those areas as well?
Yeah, the key is that we work with the economic development folks to help attract and retain business and industry within a particular region. And so the key for the colleges is that we perform a workforce development function that contributes to economic development within a region. And so I've met with a number of business and industry folks and organizations here in North Idaho to talk about what their needs may be. And there's really 3 industry clusters that we need to focus on. One is the health sciences with Kootenai Medical Center and others. We also have manufacturing that we need to focus on, as well as an emerging aerospace industry. And we've recently submitted a grant to the Department of Labor to help support the aerospace industry. And we should know about the 1st of October whether that comes through for us or not.
Lita, talk a little bit about the health sciences, and it's well beyond just nursing. There are so many different career paths that a student can really explore, and right here in North Idaho.
Absolutely. Our health professions programs are numerous, and we're trying to grow them as well. So in addition to nursing, which has been a well-established program at North Idaho College for any number of years, we have medical assisting, pharmacy technology, radiography technology, and soon hopefully we're going to be opening a physical therapist assistant program. So the beauty of those programs, of course, is that they are well-paying jobs, and the students can stay right here in North Idaho, so get their education and then remain at home where they want to be and have good careers in those fields. So,
you know, when we're talking about the cost of education, and this is something that we as a group, we talk about a lot, there's a very real cost to operate the institution, and the ability or the capacity of the student to absorb a lot of that cost, it's a finite amount, isn't it, Ron? And
yes,
it takes real dollars to run this operation. And North Idaho College is a substantial economic contributor to the area. In terms of budget numbers, what do we spend on an annual basis?
Somewhere between $42 and $50 million on an annual basis from all sources.
And that's salaries, contracts that we do with businesses in the community?
Financial aid, grants, tuition, just the whole package, there are a lot of sources that make that up.
Later this fall, we'll have a report to the Board of Trustees on just exactly what the overall impact of North Idaho College is to not only the Coeur d'Alene and the Kootenai County economy, but all of the different areas where we have centers as well. We have a tremendous new, Ron mentioned that he lives in Sandpoint. We have a tremendous new effort going on there in Sandpoint, in Bonners Ferry, in the Silver Valley. We do work in the Plummer area. So we're we're kind of here, there, and everywhere. Graydon, you see students from all over, but primarily these students are from North Idaho in particular. What are some of the challenges that they have? You know, we talked about, Lita talked about those students being able to stay at home. How big a factor is that for a student's success?
Well, that's a huge factor. I think that's where community colleges are such a great answer for students, is because there's so many things on their plate. You know, they've got families, they've got work, they've got so many different things that they're trying to juggle. To have an affordable education like they can have at North Idaho College, to be close to home, to maintain that job, to be close to their families, just really a great answer for so many students out there. As we know, the cost of higher education has just been increasing dramatically over the years, and North Idaho College, as community colleges typically are, committed to maintaining accessibility by making it affordable. And so this ends up being maybe the only answer for a number of students who aren't going to be able to move someplace else, right, who are place bound, and then get a quality education at an affordable price right here, and be with instructors and staff, faculty, everybody who is interested in their success.
Joe, I want to just touch in just the remaining minute or minute and a half or so we have left. You know, we're very focused on what we're doing here, but a student can start here and literally go here right in the corridor in the higher education campus. They can go 2 years here, 2 years at LC, and they can even do graduate programs at the University of Idaho. What kind of advantage does that give us in terms of preparing a workforce for the area?
Well, it's not just preparing the workforce, but it's also preparing students to transfer to higher education, to a four-year institution. And so in the higher education campus that we have here at North Idaho College, and with our partners, it is an absolutely splendid opportunity for students to begin their educational career at the community college and then finish through graduate level with a four-year degree with never having to leave the community. And one of the beauties of the community college is that with 1,250 throughout the nation, 90% of the population lives within 50 miles of a community college, which means that they don't have to leave to get that higher education. And now with our four-year partners, what a wonderful opportunity. And it's very unique. You don't find that in every community.
Well, we are certainly glad that we have it here in our community. We're glad that you're a part of our community, President. Thank you and welcome.
Thank
Lita
you.
and Graydon, welcome to the team. We are thrilled that you're part of us. I know I speak for Ron and the rest of the cabinet on that we're just really excited about the team that we've got here. So.
Well, and I agree. This is absolutely a wonderful opportunity, and we've hired the best we could find, and we're going to do some wonderful things this next year.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're sitting in the chair there, because that means you get to host this program next time around. So I'm glad you're here. But thank you for joining us here today, whether you're at home watching or on the web. We certainly appreciate your taking part in this program. And as always, if you have any comments or suggestions, topics you'd like to see us cover, you can go to our website at nic.edu and follow the feedback form there, and we'll certainly get back with you and love to take those inputs from you. For all of the President's Cabinet here, and for our President, Dr. Joe Dunlap, I'm Mark Browning. Thanks for joining us today.